I heard you took care of some looters for us. If only there was something I could do to thank you. Let me know if you think of anything. Did you notice the big crack in the floor near the city gate? They say some poor fool fell to his death trying to scale the front of the citadel. There's something creepy about Marius up in the citadel. Plus, he never comes down to the tavern. And you just can't trust a man who doesn't drink. Only one way out of this city, and that's through the bottom of a mug of moonshine, if you get me. Solve all your problems. At least for a while. But then again, some folks will overdo it. Ulrin, the Dunmer fellow, can't miss him. Hit the drinks pretty hard after his wife, Maisie, disappeared. Just sits there, night after night. Poor guy. Wish I knew what happened to her. Caught lots of people talking, but nobody seems to know anything. Odd. Come and visit me again anytime you like.
Hello, neighbor. I understand we have you to thank for dispensing with some would-be looters. So, thank you. Now that's an interesting question. I personally don't know any way out, no. However, I have a theory. It's more of a hypothesis, really. My thinking is that if there was a way out of here, the dwarves who built this place must have known about it. True, but we can learn all sorts of things about them from what they left behind. Inscriptions, architecture, relics, statues. And while I've discovered many things here, there are some parts of the city I haven't been able to get to. I'm most interested in the palace, above the lake. Unfortunately, it's sealed up tight. Only one man ever managed to enter, and he never came out. That was Narnabas, and we haven't heard from him in years. Strange fellow. I believe he was looking for the secrets of the dwarves too. If you could find a way in there, I'm sure it would tell us a great deal about this place. Who knows what secrets we could uncover? Time travel. You know, as it happens, I do. It was a great obsession of mine for years after my wife passed. I thought if I could go back, I gave up on that idea a long time ago. But recently the Jarl has asked to see my research notes. How strange that you should now take an interest too. Can I ask what the nature of your interest is in this unusual subject? I don't quite know what to say to that. How can I put this charitably? Perhaps you're tired and emotional and need some rest. But I always enjoy discussing my theories with a receptive mind, so I'll humor you. What did you want to ask? For argument's sake, if you found yourself in that position, you'd have only two options. To live out your days in the past, or force a paradox. A paradox, you see, would involve changing the past so as to prevent the events which caused you to travel back in time in the first place. But you'd be taking a big risk by doing that. Who knows what the consequences would be? Some say that whatever you do, it will lead you right back to the future that took you back in time in the first place. An eternal loop, if you will. But me, I believe that creating a paradox should fling you back to your original time, having changed the past for you and everyone else. Well, let's say for argument's sake that you really have traveled here from the future. You could create a paradox in a few different ways. Essentially, you could do anything that would remove your means or motivation to return to the past. For example, you came here to achieve some goal. Achieving that goal would mean you will never have been motivated to come here. A paradox. Or, if the thing that allowed you to travel back in time is still here, as a past version of itself, you could simply destroy it, I suppose. That would mean, of course, that you will never have been able to travel back in time. Another paradox. But doing so could have terrible consequences. But if you really are from the future, as unlikely as that is, telling me or anybody else what happens next could have disastrous consequences too. I think it's best if we talk about something else. That is the sun under the ground. Or at least that's how it's referred to in the Dwarven text we've managed to translate. I must confess, I haven't the faintest idea of how it works. But it seems to be giving us light and allowing us to grow crops, even under the ground. Of course, if it ever stops glowing, for whatever reason, we'll all be in quite a lot of trouble. But don't concern yourself with such dark thoughts. I'm sure we have nothing to worry about. Ah, yes. Most dwarven armor you see these days is quite badly worn. But this piece is still perfect, after thousands of years. It also seems to have some magical properties. It should protect you from the harmful energy down in the tunnels below the city. It all but killed Brandis when he went down there. But he didn't have a full set. If you can get down there safely, let me know what you discover. Well, the dwarves who built this city left inscriptions in the citadel, which translate to, "The many shall suffer for the sins of the one." My research leads me to believe that if a single member of our community sins, it'll trigger an event, killing us all. I believe such an event occurred some years ago, which is why Metellus found the city littered with burned corpses. But to this day, there are many questions we simply don't have answers for. How is the Dwarves' Law still being enforced? How does it work? And we may never know, as long as nobody attacks or steals from anybody else. Until we know more, we all need to be on our best behavior. Farewell. Come back.
Heard you got to kill those looters. Wish I could have joined you. I haven't been allowed to fight in years. What about it? Not my problem. Oh, well in that case, you still can't have it. Let me be clear. The only way you'll get this armor is if you peel it from my corpse. It's not for sale. Nope. This is the only one like it in the whole city. Not going to happen, maggot. Because you know, and I know, that the first blow that gets landed is going to get us all killed. You're not that stupid. Uh-huh.
All the living.
Hardly a challenge for a man like me.
Does someone live among the dead? You are not welcome here.
Hardly a challenge for a man like me.
You don't have a chance!
Who dares disturb?
Not impressed!
Hello, neighbor. Would you like to hear about my research? Brilliant. What did you find in there? How terrible. But not unexpected. Narnabis was a reckless fellow. But did you discover something about the Dwarves' Law? Some relic or text? Let me see it. That is... disturbing. This Dorotus fellow set out to disprove the existence of the Dwarves' Law, and instead triggered some kind of mass execution. So the Dwarves' Law is real, and can be triggered simply by striking another person. I take no pleasure in being vindicated in relation to this. But there's something else that troubles me. If the Dwarves' Law is still being enforced, does that not suggest the existence of some kind of judge? And this judge, who watches over us, must be somewhere inside the city. I need you to find whoever, or whatever it is. And when you do, well, I'm not going to say it out loud, but do whatever you need to do, for yourself, and for us all. Farewell. Come back if you think of any questions.
Hey, I hear you dealt with those looters swiftly. Great work. You wouldn't believe how often the new ones ask that question, but I'll tell you the same thing I tell everyone else. There are much worse places to live out your days. You might have a few sleepless nights thinking about the Dwarves' Law, but once you get used to the fear, knowing that a single slip-up could cost you everything, it's not too bad. Nothing new to me, anyways. Come back soon!